Many people don't know that living a more minimal life is a major step toward mental clarity and improved mental health. Here are 5 things you can do to encourage a more simple life while also improving your mental health and your quote unquote happiness. Number 1, own less stuff. Prioritize meaning. We have a tendency to associate stuff and new things with happiness. When we earn more money, we want to treat ourselves to something new. When we're feeling down, nothing like a little retail therapy to pick us up. But the truth is, none of what we buy will actually give us any substantial level of happiness. It may temporarily bring us joy, but we will not become happier long term as a result of owning more. We're more happy when we contribute to something or advance or improve in some way. The happiness or excitement that comes with a new purchase, it's like a dopamine hit and it just doesn't last long. What you can do is focus on usefulness and meaning. If the things you own are not functional and meaningful, they're just taking up space, both physically and mentally. And sometimes we can underestimate the toll that it takes on our well being. Instead of using retail therapy to make you feel better, consider what will actually improve your mood long term, not just in the moment. That $20 top or brand new bag, it won't make you happy or at peace in the long term. Instead, you can practice habits or hobbies that will over time leave you with a skill or practice that makes you happy. Something like sitting down to knit or crochet a blanket that you can keep, painting a picture that has no meaning, sitting down and journaling. Things don't have to be the solution, meaningfulness does. Think about it. If you replaced retail therapy with writing, reading, or creating something, whatever you enjoy, each time you need to redirect frustration, take a moment to yourself or simply enjoy a hobby. You would be building a skill while also contributing to your happiness, an achievement bank, without the buyer's remorse. Number 2 may be controversial, but that doesn't make it any less true. Love Jesus. Follow him. For a long time, I believed that the life of a Christian was restrictive and oppressive. Who would want to live with so many rules and so many things that they can't do? What I've found is that it's just not true. It's more liberating than anything that I've ever encountered. And knowing Jesus can make you feel whole in a way that eliminates your need to buy things in order to fill a void. Have you ever considered the reason you cannot stop buying things is because you are trying to make up for something that's missing? Some subconscious insecurity that you have? Yes, it's a possibility. And one of the reasons it has been so easy for me to let go of my materialistic habits is because I've allowed myself to be filled with the love of God. There's nothing that I can ever buy that can make me whole or satisfied because He does that for me. This is not to say you will never desire to buy anything or need to make a purchase. But what I mean is, you will not feel the pressing need to satisfy your shiny object syndrome. There is just something so special about the level of confidence that I experienced in encountering Jesus. I felt confident enough to be myself, not a copy and paste of someone else or some societal norm. I felt confident enough to embrace who I am, my style, my true personality. And as a result, I stopped chasing these desires that I had that were truly just projections of who I was supposed to be. And instead, I began to realize that in any situation or circumstance, I'm not enough and I don't have to be because my Father is, and He will supply my every need. So why waste my time trying to fill a void with purchases, time and money at that? Why not surrender to the greatest love I've ever known and release the stresses and anxieties that I'm holding? Number 3, clean up, sweetheart. Sometimes we're depressed and sad, and sometimes we're just in an untidy environment. Cleaning up, and I mean a good deep clean, can change your entire mood and make you reevaluate all of your mental anxiety. It can make you feel lighter And it can actually improve your physical health. Imagine how much you're exposing yourself to in a dirty environment. Dust, mold, maybe. Go ahead and clean up. And if you don't want to do it yourself, it's absolutely okay to hire help. 4. Disconnect yourself from meaningless relationships. Most of us suffer through relationships out of obligation and whatever else, and it's time that we stop. If the relationship is draining you, stressing you out more than it is enhancing your life, stay away from it. This is all relationships, not just romantic. We can love people from a distance, but we do not have to welcome any and everyone into our intimate space. You may not notice the mental load and exhaustion that comes with maintaining some of the relationships that you are in, and maybe it's time you do evaluate them. If every interaction leaves you exhausted, confused, or frustrated, it's probably time to take a step back. Don't take this to mean that your relationships need to be focused solely on being inspired by one another or happy go lucky all the time, but take the time to evaluate the status and the quality of the relationships you're maintaining. It's taxing on your mental health to be in a space that makes you feel boxed in. Number 5, be your authentic self. This is easier said than done considering most of us wear a mask every day and everywhere that we go. This is especially true for people pleasers. In your head, you're screaming what you're actually thinking, but when it comes down to it, you can't help but smile and comply. The more you show up as yourself and deny doing things you do not actually enjoy or entertaining people you do not wish to, the more relaxed you will begin to feel. You will find yourself stressing less and enjoying life more because you do not have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You don't have to reserve your true self for when you're home alone. You can be who you are all the time and live a less anxious and more fulfilling life. Here's to living more minimally and authentically. See you in the next one.